Yo, what's up, people? Welcome to the channel where we talk about music licensing, music production, and music business. If you love any of the previously mentioned, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my latest content and hit that bell icon so you know exactly when that new content drops. Shout out to everybody in the stream, man. Shout out to World Meta Beats. I see you. Let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do. We're going to do another Q&A. See if you guys are stuck, see what questions you have, and I'm going to try and help y'all as best as I can. So yeah, let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do. If we got producers, songwriters, artists, whatever it is that you do, managers, engineers, you know, usually we have a good mixture of everybody. So let me know. Look at that. I'm messing up the chat thing in the stream. So man, this week has been crazy. It's like Wednesday already, and I feel like I really ain't got a whole lot done for real. I got some music done. I've been slowly knocking out projects and deadlines and stuff like that. So it's getting done. But like, yeah, we had an event at our son's preschool. So we went to that. Remembered that it was happening like last night. So it was like super last minute. So yeah, so that was cool. And then we came back home and it was back to work. Valley on the Beats, I see you, music producer from San Diego. Super dope. How's the weather over there in San Diego? It's been okay here. I like fall. Imperial was good. Big ups, hip hop producer from the UK, commercial and sync. Love it. Shout out to the Sync gang, everybody getting those TV and film placements. How often do your royalty checks come, and do you get them from multiple streams? They come every quarter, every 3 months, like clockwork. So CSAC, I get them from everywhere. They come every quarter. So I get one from CSAC. I get one from what do you call it? What is that? Song Trust. I get one from Song Trust. I think those are like the two, and then I'll get one from some of the music libraries that I work with. Like if they collect some stuff, maybe some sync fees or some royalties from other stuff that they got going on, I'll get paid from them, and then yeah. That's usually how the royalties come through. It's usually every quarter. So yeah, a few different ones. And then some companies, I think they do like biannual. Like I may randomly get a check at the top of the year, or mid-year from one sync company that I have some stuff with. So those are always nice, pleasant surprises. So yeah, let's get into it, man. I see some questions coming in. Produced by Pesos. Yo, man, do you think unique and new styles of music have a place in sync? So that's always tricky, man, because you want to be creative, you want to do dope, fresh stuff, right? But there's a time and a place for it in sync specifically. Like I think the main focus in anything you do is going to be like, who's your client? Who's the customer? Who needs the music? What problem are you solving, right? So if you get a brief and they want 90s hip hop, that's probably not the time to start getting mad creative and creating new sounds. You know what I'm saying? Like just give them 90s hip hop. The template's already there. Create 90s hip hop, give them the vibe that they're looking for. And then you may have some briefs that'll come in and they're looking for fresh, innovative stuff, or, a couple genres that are not normally merged together. They may want to merge those together to kind of create something fresh and new. So, it's a time and a place. It depends on what they need. So I think the best approach is to link up with licensing companies and then, start to gauge what they need, what they're requesting, and then just kind of do your thing from there and be ready to be flexible and experiment with some new things as the needs come about. That's a good question though. But I think like creating a bunch of like dope, fresh stuff and then just like sending it off in hopes that it starts getting synced, you're taking a chance. It's not a calculated approach. You know what I mean? So that's my view on that. Bones on the beat. What it do? I produce, engineer, artist, photography, and cinematography. That's what's up. Love it. Thanks for the live Q&A, live session, man. No problem, Michael. Question: I want to use a sample from an interview from a podcast, the Joe Rogan podcast. How would I go about clearing that? That's a good question. I don't know. But yeah, technically you do need permission to do that because yeah, that's his intellectual property. So I don't know who you would go to clear that. I mean, directly to the show or somebody. I'm not sure. That would be a question for probably, I don't know, an attorney maybe in that space, or somebody in the media space that would have a better answer for you on that one. But yep, sorry, your boy can't help you with that. KO, what's good? Music producer and instrumental arranger. Love it. Jacob, what's good? You produce with both production agencies, West One and non-exclusive Pond 5. What generates the most income? The production music companies generate more income than Pond 5, or like the stock music sites. And then I recently learned that Pond 5 actually decreased the splits for producers. I didn't know that. I guess they went down to like 33% or something like that versus the 50%. They used to just do, 50 of the income generated. And there was like an acquisition or something that took place. So that's probably what happened there. But, there's other sites out there. You got a Premium Beat. You got a bunch of different stock sites. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a few of them out there. And then it's going to be different for everybody. Like somebody may have the majority of their catalog on stock music sites and they're doing all right. You know what I'm saying? They probably see more of that because that's what they feed more. I feed, licensing companies and libraries more music than I do sites like Pond 5. So, I'll get some income here and there, like, somebody kind of randomly licensing some stuff, and it'll add up. But, the bulk of it is coming from, the production companies, doing albums for them, getting royalties from them, and then other projects that, that kind of pay up front and back end as well. So KO, I've already seen that one. Fly Grind, what's good? How would you compare producing for artists compared to shows and ads? Huge difference. So artists, it goes back to, and I have conversations with other composers about this, and it's all about the who. Like, who are you working for? Like, who are you composing for? Who are you serving, right? So if you're producing for an artist, you're helping the artist bring their vision to life and kind of what they see, and what they're trying to accomplish. So, their opinion matters a lot in the production process. So you have to take that into consideration while being a producer and doing what you do as a producer to help bring that vision to life. Structure is different. You have room to kind of be more creative when you're working with artists and just doing some creative things, especially with with projects and albums and EPs and stuff like that. Like, you may want to get fancy with the intro and the outro and bridges and all that stuff if you throw a bridge in there. So you have things like that. Whereas TV, let's just take reality TV stuff, for example. Like, there's usually a format we kind of follow, and stuff isn't that long. Like, it's like a minute and a half to 2 minutes on average. Usually I'm not putting any bridges. If I'm creating a full song, I still don't put bridges lately, unless it was something that I already did that had bridges. I'm not putting bridges in any of that stuff. Like, it's 2 verses, 2 hooks, and I'm out. So that's that. And then the way your music is building matters in TV and film. So like, if I produce like a calm, mellow R&B joint for an artist, like I'm not gonna do a whole lot musically. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't have to. The vocalist is the one that's shining on that track. So I may do more with the vocals and vocal production versus the music production. Whereas with background instrumental music, they want things to build, and you're adding layers of instrumentation. There may be certain parts in a track that they just want to use, so you're like keeping that in mind. So it's like you're building functional music for the sake of it being used by editors in TV and film versus creating something creative with an artist. That, I feel like that was like a long answer. That was like 7 minutes trying to break that down, but that's how I look at it. Susie G Music, what's good? Can we use drummer function on Logic Pro, or must we create our own beats? Yeah, you can use drummer on Logic, because I think it spits out some because you can kind of like tweak it and kind of make it your own. And then especially if you're adding other instruments and sounds and stuff like that to make it your own, you're good. But what I wouldn't encourage you to do is like use the drummer function. It spits out a pattern, and then you just use that pattern. Because if somebody else does that and that pattern ends up being the same, then even though it's legal technically, it creates confusion of ownership, and that's where the issue lies. And then everybody's confused, and then nobody gets paid. Because if everybody's confused, then nobody gets paid. That's how it works. So you want to get paid. So make it your own. Figure out a way to kind of add some things, take some things out, to make it unique, and then that'll help you. Let's see. How important is the mixing and mastering part when it comes to sync licensing? Do you mix and master yourself, or do you send it off? Producer from Norway. Super dope. So it's very important. Mix and master it to the best of your ability, and you want it to sound good. The tricky thing is you don't know if it's good enough for whoever you're sending it to until you send it and they tell you, mix and master needs to be tweaked. Then you can, continue to work on your mixing and mastering, but you may want to outsource it until you get those skills up to par. But I definitely recommend, mixing and mastering, because you're competing with me and all my friends who mix and master their music. You know what I'm saying? So you want it to sound polished. You want it to sound good, as good as you can possibly get it. So yeah, definitely mix and master. I mix and master everything I do myself. I enjoy the whole process of mixing and all that stuff. I geek out about it. So yeah, I do it myself, and I do it because I can turn around stuff faster. So I'm able to serve my clients better, because if they have an edit, they want something changed, I can change it. Boom, everything is in the session, bounce it out, and I'll have it back to you ASAP. So that works in my favor. Noisy Brothers, what's good? Let's see. Immaculate Beats, what's good? Mikey Iceberg, producer, songwriter, and artist. Do you shop songs that are released already as well? Or do the companies want exclusive content only? It depends. Depends on the company. It depends. It's both. A lot of times they don't care if it's already out, if it's already released. It really depends. It could go both ways, or you may be in a situation where you're creating something custom for a company and they don't want that to be out until it's released for the purpose of you creating it. So for example, you may see that in some commercial stuff or ads and things like that, where where they're asking you to create something specifically for something, and there's certain rights and in terms that come with that. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. Let's see. Jacob Israel, I'm late in the game. Where do I go after Full Sail? I'm starting from ground zero. Do you mentor at all? I had a good convo with Eric Copeland, who then sent me your info. Yo, shout out to Eric Copeland, man. Super dope dude. And we had him. We did a podcast together. We did both. And yeah, we had him use the word dope. So that was dope. So shout out to Eric, man. Appreciate that. So listen, I do mentor. It's not for everybody, but you get 3 months with me, and I'm working with you for 3 months, one-on-one. I focus on sync licensing. And I focus on producers. So if you're a producer and you want a 3-month mentorship to fast track your process to getting to your first licensing deal within the first 90 days, then the mentorship is for you. I'll walk you through the process of getting your tracks, structured and produced right, making sure the mix and stuff is good, and preparing everything, making sure your business is great, so that when you move forward to start reaching out to companies, everything is where it needs to be and it's sounding good and you're putting your best foot forward. So if you want to sign up for that, just go to producermentorship.com. It's invite only, so you have to apply, and I have a wait list right now. So definitely apply, and yeah, if you're a good fit, we'll reach out, hop on a call, and go from there. Let's see, Raymond, what's good? Or Ramon, ready for action in ATL? Indeed. And then I do one-on-one consultations if you want a consultation for an hour, and I have it there. Because some people, they may be in the process and they just have a few questions that's just causing them to just run into a wall, right? So that's there for that. But I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, a lot of people want one-on-one consultations just for an hour, and it's hard to get a transformation in just 1 hour because it's a lot of information. That's why I created the Road to 10 Placements course. It's like, I cannot go through each and every step thoroughly with you to get you results in 1 hour. Like, we just can't, because it's so many nuances. Every situation is different. Every producer is different. Everybody's music is different. So, if you have a couple questions that's just keeping you stuck and you want to do the hour consultation, go for it by all means. But if you really want to get value and you really want to see transformation and go, to the next level and start getting results and getting licensing deals and things like that, then the mentorship is the way to go. Let's see. Just downloaded your PDF and hope to enroll in the class next month. If you're an artist buying beats, can you still potentially get sync licensing placements? You can, but you have to be careful when it comes to the terms of the beats. Like, if you're leasing a beat, from a producer online, you have to make sure like those terms are saying you can sync this stuff in TV and film, because that can also potentially create issues if you have something non-exclusive and you have multiple artists using the same beat, and then say somebody uses the instrumental on a TV show. That instrumental, like, you got 15 other artists around the world like, yo, that's my beat to my song that I released and shot a video to and got 12 views on. Like, they used it. I got a placement. Now you got issues, because now you got people coming out the woodworks trying to claim something and get paid for it. And like I said earlier, like, if there's confusion on who owns what, then all flow stops. Like, all cash flow, royalty flow, all of that stuff stops. So just be careful, be mindful of that, and make sure you're in the clear before you start using leased beats for sync. I just recommend get something exclusive to where, like, you're the only one that has that joint. That's what I recommend. So let's see. Noisy Brothers, can you help me sync my song? Will even pay the required amount? I've texted you so many times on Instagram, but no reply. Another thing, song is popular on TikTok with 2.5 million. Yo, congrats on hitting 2.5 million on TikTok. That's huge in itself. So I don't do, like, I'm not a I'm not like a publisher per se. So, like, that's not where my focus is. Like, I have a small team of composers that I work with, and then we work together on briefs, and then, we push that stuff out. But I do not do single song publishing and things and pitching it for other people, because it's a lot that goes into that on the admin side. And to be honest with you, like, I'm active in sync. Like I work on briefs every day. I'm pitching my music as well. So I just don't have time to just sit and just be doing a bunch of admin stuff to pitch other people's stuff. Cause it's not just, yo, send me your song. I'm gonna send it and plug it, blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, like I have to make sure this stuff is cleared. I got to make sure splits. I got to collect agreements. Like it's just a whole process that goes with representing and having the rights to be able to sign off on somebody else's song. And I don't have the time to do it right now. In the future, it may be something I'll do more of. But yeah, at this stage, I still love the process of creating and working on TV and film projects. And it helps me stay up to date so I can help y'all more as well, because I'm in it. Lamar Webster from Columbus, Ohio. Go Buckeyes. Another win this past weekend. Let's go. Undefeated. How was your experience with TuneEdge if you worked with them before, and how often do you add new beats to libraries you're in? Let's go. So TuneEdge, I don't have a lot. I think I got a song or two in there. I'm gonna send them more because I want to see how they perform, because I've gotten a couple questions about them, and then I told you guys about them because they give you briefs. So it's like you can get in to a library, right? That doesn't, it's like everything is online, right? Like you do it, you upload it, you sign the agreement, all that stuff is online, which is cool and convenient because you could just do it whenever you want. The cool thing about TuneEdge.com is that and they're not sponsoring this or anything. It's just I think it's cool, like for y'all to just check them out. So I'm just mentioning them. But they give you briefs. Like they'll text you, you'll get an email on what they're looking for. And that's a great way to start getting your chops up and working on actual briefs, so you can see like what it's like when the publishers send you briefs. And then you upload it. If they accept it, they accept it. And then you kind of go from there and fill out the metadata and upload the files and things like that. So I'm waiting to see what they do. I'm gonna add a few more tracks on there, and I'm gonna add those tracks to tunesat.com so I can track them and see, if they start pulling in some placements. So if they do, that'll be pretty cool. And then how often do I add new beats to libraries you're in? Man, it depends on the season, but right now we're in sports, so I'm gonna be sending in new music like every other week, man, pretty much. I just sent a batch last Friday. Let me see. I think I got a song I need to finish mixing, and then I'm gonna send that out this week. I got an idea. I gotta finish that. I don't think that'll be done this week though, but I know for sure I'm gonna send one in this week, and then next week I got some other stuff that I gotta finish up. So honestly, it's been weekly this month. It's been weekly, but at least monthly. Oh shoot, my wife was like, I need the car keys. All right, be safe, love you. So I have this habit of keeping the car keys in my pocket instead of putting them back in the common place in the house. So yeah, it really depends, man, on what what's needed at the time and how often is needed. Like right now, I'm kind of on a schedule where it's like I'm at least submitting something every other week, and that's just the frequency in which they're requesting stuff. So yeah. LW says, Lamar, you're always in a different city. Are you on tour? Is he always in a different city? I remember him saying Columbus before. Maybe he's circling back around. He's back at home base. Lamar be on the road. No doubt. All right, we got another question from Thy Kingdom Music. If I submit an instrumental I produce, which has already been released as part of a song, do I still need to split the royalties with the artist? That's an interesting question, because it depends on like the order in which that happened. It's already been released as part of a song. Oh, so this is how I do it. Like if I create a song with the artist, we created this song together, and I did the beat, they did the lyrics. We're gonna split everything 50-50. So if the instrumental gets placed in TV and film, we're gonna split that 50-50. It just makes it easier. I feel like it's fair, it's clean. Yeah, I split it. We get paid whether it's instrumental or full song. Noisy Brothers, I appreciate the super chat. If I submit a full song but only part without lyrics is used, does the artist on the song still get a shit? Yeah, absolutely. Peace in KO. I signed up for your mentorship. Will there be an email even if not selected? No, unfortunately not. And the reason why is because the number of submissions we get, it would literally just take a long time to send every individual person an email like yay or nay. So yeah, we only notify the people who gets called. Like you'll know because you're gonna get an email, you're gonna get invited to do a call, and then from there we just kind of go from there and figure out how we want to move forward. So yeah, unfortunately no. Peace and blessings, Clint. In regards to your mentorship, what are the bases of you choosing who can take part? Man, so music is number one, right? Music has to be at a level to where we can get you results. Like I'm not gonna work with you if I can't get you results. Like there's no point, right? It's a waste of time and money on both sides. So it's a waste of your time, it's a waste of your money, and it's a waste of my time to work with somebody who I know like it's gonna be tough to get your music played. So your music has to be good. That's why I say it's not for everybody, because if you're just starting out, right, and your production level isn't there, you should be focusing on getting your production better, right? And this mentorship isn't about coaching you on how to make a beat and do all those things. It's like you have to have the pieces there. The production quality has to be there. Mix has to be decent. Like if it's just a couple tweaks I can give you there, boom, boom, we can knock that out. Because we don't have like a whole lot of time to like teach you how to produce, you know what I mean? So if the music is there, the production quality is there, that's going to be number one. Number two is going to be, it's going to be the mindset of the person, right? Making sure you have realistic expectations. Like I get applications, bro, and like people, I don't know, man. People will put in an application and like I seen one person, they was like, yo, like I'm trying to retire my parents and grandparents in a year. I'm like, bruh, I'm sorry. Like I admire your drive, but the chances of that happening is very, very slim. Like you have to be realistic. Like retiring 2 families, like first of all, we have to work on you. We have to get you over the hump of not making, of not getting any placements with your music. That's number one. We got to get there. We got to get to a licensing deal first before we start thinking about retiring parents, grandparents, uncles, aunties, and cousins. So, having realistic expectations, you know what I mean? That's crucial. Because if you don't, like if you have these massive ideas of what success looks like a year from now after doing this mentorship, and then that doesn't happen, you're going to be disappointed. So even when I hop on a call with someone, I let them know, like, look, this is the real. This is to get you started. Success doesn't happen overnight. Success may not happen over a year. Like it may take you a few years to build up, decent royalties and decent, contacts where you're getting, the upfront seek fees and things like that. Start with paying a couple bills, you know what I'm saying? Start with one bill. Make enough to buy a chicken sandwich combo a couple times a week. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta start realistic, and then you can grow from there. So having realistic expectations is important. So music, that, and then let's see. And then following instructions. A lot of people that submit apps do not follow instructions. It's very clear. Each question, yo, do this, do that. What is this? People don't follow instructions. Upload a streaming link. Man, I get all types of stuff, and It does not work. No, you're good.
It won't snap into the car seat base. Something wrong.
Oh no. I laid him back because he was there you go. It'll fit now. I laid him back because he was in a nap. Sorry. Because that happened to me. I forgot to put it back up and it would not fit in the car. So, sorry, we had car seat technical issues. So, yeah. So, following instructions, man. If you can't follow instructions on an application, you're talking about 3 months of mentorship. I don't want to work with you because it's going to be a headache. Just being 100. I want to work with people who can follow instructions. And it's not even just me. You're going to have to follow instructions once you start working with the libraries. They're sending you a brief. A brief is instructions. We want styles like this. We want BPM like this. We want files received like this. We want tracks named like this. If you can't follow a 10-question application and follow instructions on that, you're going to struggle in sync because that's all you're getting is instructions on how to submit stuff, how to send stuff, how to create stuff, how to structure stuff. So it's just going to be hard. It may not be the space for you. So yeah, those are the main things I'm looking for. All right, let's go. Lamar says not on tour, but I got family in Alabama, Atlanta, and Ohio, Columbus, and Dayton. So I'll be rolling. Okay, yeah, my guy be everywhere. Today I asked 2 guys from a company what they are looking for. They sent the track, told me to rip it in my own version to see if I got what it takes, then told me to have it back within 24 hours. That sounds about right. And yeah, man, that 24-hour deadline is like real life. I got one of those. What was that, last week? I didn't have anything, unfortunately. I wish, because it was a cool op. But 24 hours, yeah. And honestly, man, that's a decent chunk of time. And in those situations, it's like, yo, either you got time to knock it out, or you have something already created, or you just miss out on that opportunity. That's usually how that works. So yeah, so if you want to apply for the mentorship, go to producermentorship.com. It's fourth quarter, so it's time to go in. It's time to go hard. I know. Let me see. I think I only have like a few slots open for the rest of this year. So if you don't get in for this fourth quarter, then you can get in for January. You'll be like on a wait list, and then I'll reach out to you if you end up being shortlisted. We'll reach out to you at the beginning of the year and lock you in. So dope stuff. Let's see. Question: if you post music on a playlist like SoundCloud, DistroKid, Spotify, is that the time for a sound recording copyright paperwork? Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad time because it's out there. But if you want to hold off, kind of create a collection of works and then submit them all at once to save some money on copyright fees, you could do that as well. So yeah, Michael Connor music in the building. What's good? Let's see. SoundCloud. Yeah, SoundCloud is fine. YouTube page. Like, I just want to see that you have music and you're actively working. A lot of people, they don't even have music. So it's like, I can't accept an application and you don't have any music. Like, I can't hear anything. I don't know what I don't get it. But yeah, submit something, some type of link. I don't care if it's a box.com, a Dropbox, a SoundCloud, something so that I can hear your music, engage whether or not it's going to be a good fit. So yeah, let's see. Scroll through. Would you recommend registering lyrics prior to getting in the room with producers? No. And by registering, I'm guessing you mean registering the copyright to your lyrics. For me personally, I say no. Like, because especially before getting in the room, because lyrics could change. I mean, I've been in sessions where it's like stuff shifts and moves. It's like, yo, actually, let's say this, or something, I don't know, like it just, a word may sound better than a word that the writer wrote. And it's like, okay, let's swap this out. And it's kind of like, it's still a collaborative process even when you're recording. So I like to wait until we have the song in final form, and then, you know, handle whatever we need to handle as far as registration and things like that, so that we just, you know, we have everything in its final form. Because I ain't trying to go back on these sites and start updating lyrics and files. Like, it's just a hassle. So just get it right, and then once it's finalized, you know, knock out all your stuff. All right, let's go. Your video about seeking value when being told no is a big gem. What I spoke about is the same company that rejected me last year. Exactly, man. Yo, people take no as like the final answer. No is not bad, especially if it's followed by feedback. So yeah, I'm glad you grabbed that. Yeah, and then like make note of the people who said no, and then circle back around. It happens all the time, man. I know there's a Road to 10 placement student had told me in the Discord. By the way, if you enroll in Road to 10 placements, you get an invite to my Clint Circle private Discord. So she had told me it was like a company. Shout out to Kim. It was like a company that they said no at first, but I think it had some feedback. So she went in and like tweaked the things that they gave feedback on, and then she resubmitted it and it got accepted. So that's a win. Taking the no, taking the feedback, and, you know, making those adjustments and going back like, yo, boom, what do you think now? Cut the check. De Le Mans, what's good? I just got a placement on All American Season 5 premiere, but I submitted in March 21st. Been still needing to find opportunities. Is this mentorship for stuff like that? First off, congrats on an All American placement. That's super dope. They have good music on that show too. So shout out to them and everybody on that squad, because yeah, dope stuff. So yeah, so the mentorship, you know, I'm literally walking you through preparing your music, you know, how to produce it and get it ready, how to find the companies, how to research the companies. Like, I'm showing you everything, walking with you through each step. So think of it like this. So for the Road to 10 placement students, right? So I have a course. It's the Road to 10 placements. I walk you through the blueprint. That's the do-it-yourself version, right? The mentorship is like the done with you version. Like, I'm doing it with you, and I'm like watching you work in real time, so I can give you feedback so you can avoid any potential mistakes or pitfalls to get you to the result faster. And that result being a licensing deal, and signing, you know, some music with the licensing company. So yeah, last producer I worked with in the mentorship, we were let me see. We started with, he sent me some tracks, and a few of those tracks were like, yo, those joints was dope. Like, make a couple edits. We was like, nah, like, I'm gonna just start over. I'm gonna make some fresh joints. I was like, all right, let's go. So he went in, knocked them out. I think we did 5 new ones. Submitted those, and man, how long did it take? I want to say, because he has some other stuff going on. I want to say it was around the 2-month mark. I got it written down in my notes somewhere, but I think it was around like the 2-month mark. And then he had a company reach back, and they wanted the tracks he sent, and they wanted him to do additional tracks, and they were kicking a little bit of upfront money for him to produce those tracks. So he ended up getting some money up front, and he's gonna get royalties once that stuff starts getting placed. And that particular company, I think they're distributed through APM Music, if I'm not mistaken. So like, that joint is gonna have a lot of eyes on it, and it's gonna start racking up like a bunch of back end royalties for him. So shout out to my guy Billy, man. Let's see. How do you feel about one stoppers working non-exclusive deals on your behalf? I'm not mad at it. Like if it makes sense, I have a combination of non-exclusive joints, and some exclusive ones. So if it makes sense, shoot them some non-exclusive stuff. Have your little non-exclusive catalog for that stuff, and then just know, boom, like this is the stuff that I'll send the non-exclusive companies and kind of see what they do with it. So yeah. Let's see. Website, sign up for mentorship, producermentorship.com. Yeah, definitely congrats on that placement, man. That was super dope. What other questions do we have? Shout out to the new people in the stream. Let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do. This is the Music Is My Business podcast. I'm doing a live Q&A, answering questions. I got my IG fam over here. They're looking the behind the scenes version, I guess. So yeah. But yeah, man, it's so many different ways and directions you can go in the sync space, man. Like you got micro sync, that's like the like the YouTube and the different like video maker platforms and corporate videos, and you got commercials, the ad space, you got trailer music, you got instrumental production music, you have songs just being synced in TV shows and series and films and documentaries, you have film scoring, like scoring to picture and all that stuff. Man, you got music being on playlists used in restaurants and retail establishments and stuff like that. What else, man? Where else is music used? It's a bunch. It's just like a bunch of opportunities out there. Podcasts, like a lot of people are doing podcasts now. Podcast needs intro music. I did a podcast intro a few months back. So, you can position yourself to be, to produce music for people, for podcasters. You got to think about different approaches. Like instead of the traditional, beat to artist, right? Like artists aren't the only people that need beats. So if you're stuck and you're struggling to try and get artists to buy your beats, then it may be time to pivot. Like who else needs music? Music is everywhere. Like the elevators need music. Like how do you find out who plays the music on the elevators? You know what I'm saying? Like companies, corporations, brands need music. YouTubers need music that won't, get their stuff flagged and taken down. So you got to figure out where the problem is, who has the problem, and how you can solve the problem with your music. That's the name of the game. Marquise Griffin says, can you elaborate more on Roth IRA accounts? Oh, y'all want to geek out on some investment talk. So for those who don't know, I just posted a post on Instagram, and I was talking about how you could take the passive income you make just from sync royalties only. I'm not talking about upfront sync fees. I'm just talking about just the royalties on the back end, right? From TV placements. So in this post, I was just talking about how back, I don't know, like a few years back, or I'll say a solid 5 years into sync, I was able to get royalties up to around $1,250 a quarter. That's passively, and this is why I still had a full-time job and everything. So it's definitely doable if you still have a job. So that's about $5,000 a year. So I use the example of the Roth IRA account, and what a Roth IRA account is it's a retirement account. You put money in this IRA, or some people call it IRA, and that you contribute to it however often you want to contribute. There's a cap on how much you can contribute a year, but you contribute, and while that money is sitting in that Roth IRA, it's Roth, right? So that means the interest compounds it's compounded interest. It's not just like, it's not regular interest. It's compounded. So say you invest $5,000 in there for the first year. Now you got $5,000. So you're going to earn that compounded interest on that $5,000. So then the next year you put another $5,000 in there, right? So now you're going to get interest not only on the $5,000 that you put in there that year, you're going to get interest on the initial $5,000 you put in there, plus the interest it made during that past year, plus the new 5,000 that you put on there. So it just keeps compounding, and you're getting interest on the entire like new balance of that account. So anyways, if you pull up a Roth IRA calculator, because it's going to take a lot for you to like calculate it by hand because of the compounding. If you take a Roth IRA calculator, you can Google one, use it for free. If you put $5,000 in there every year, starting at the age 34 to 67, you will end up with $1.2 million in that retirement account. Now, the other dope thing about a Roth IRA is that while that interest is growing and that account is growing and you keep contributing every year, it's growing tax-free. So it's tax-free growth and it's compounded interest. So what that means is you don't pay taxes on all the money that you earn in that account. If you wait until you're about 59 and a half to take anything out, you take it out tax-free. You don't have to pay taxes on it. So that's the power. If you take it out early, before that 59 and a half mark, then you'll probably have to pay taxes on it. But yeah, it's tax-free growth. It's a retirement account. So if there's penalties and stuff like that and interest if you take it out before that time period is up. But it can be super powerful. I'm like, yo, that's just passive. Like your royalties, take them, throw them in the account. Boom, $5,000 a year. You retire a millionaire off of some music that you did one time. And we're not counting everything that you've done between 34 and 67. You're going to make way more music than just what you're earning $5,000 a year in royalties on. So it can be extremely powerful. Highly recommend anything with Roth in front of it. I have a Roth solo 401k as well. And that's why, because give me the compounding. I want that. So yeah, you got to think about the future. You got to think about retirement. And like, it's kind of like a double retirement, honestly, because as producers, you can, you're getting royalties. So that's sort of like retirement. Cause you create all this music while you're young, blah, blah, blah. And then stuff starts it just keeps getting used and you just keep getting royalties on it, when you're old and all that stuff. So it really doesn't really stop. Like once it starts, like once you start getting royalty checks, I don't know any composer who has gotten in the sync and they started getting a royalty check and then they just stopped. Like it just doesn't. Like if you're consistently submitting music, you're making new music, you're submitting it, royalty checks just don't stop. Like it just keeps snowballing. It's crazy. So yeah, so check it out. Roth IRA, and take advantage of that. All right, let's see. Starting to get responses to my pitches. What response would you recommend to? We're not accepting composers to join our company. Is there ever a hard no? I know it seems like they always try and avoid just no. But no, they're probably not, because man, some of these companies, bro, they probably have so many submissions that like they have a whole list of people who already submitted that they can go through if they wanted to sign new music. So they're probably really not accepting. So I'll probably just check back a few months or ask them, when's a good time to follow up? Do you think you'll be submitting or accepting new composers anytime in the near future? And just see what they say. Pretty much anything on TV for sure needs music. ESPN, Fox Sports 1, Netflix, Hallmark, Lifetime. Exactly. Agreed. Let me see. Did you get the new Complete 14? I think I downloaded. They gave me like the player for free. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't tried it. I don't update like new stuff usually until I get done with projects. So I got a few things that I'm like in the middle of, like making tweaks and revisions and stuff. And the last thing I want to do is update something and that joint just stopped working. It has happened before. I've learned my lesson. I thought it was about to happen last time because it was some audio stuff in Native Instruments Machina, and I thought it was gonna be like a 5-second update, like just looking for sounds. It ended up being like it was like an hour. I had to literally just stop. I couldn't do anything. It wouldn't let me out of the app or anything. So I usually hold off until I knock all this stuff out. So it'll probably be like near the end of the year, things kind of slow down. I'll go and kind of see, what can be updated and what's worth updating. Kim Durr, what's good? Let's see. Would you be interested in partnering with someone with the potential for placements if they don't have much money up front? Share royalties, partial ownership of tracks you help place. Not at the moment. Not at the moment. But that may, it may be something in the future. I talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the podcast. I won't go back into it, but if you want to re-listen, I kind of went into this whole, why is my thing not this whole spiel on that. But yeah, Tracy Morris, what's good? Let me see. We got a few more minutes. If y'all got any other questions, let me shout out to Ray. Said road to financial security. That's hilarious. That's the next course, right? Road to 10 placements and then road to financial security. That's hilarious. Gilday, what's good? Nothing like having this random update heart check. It happened to me mid scoring the series I recently did. I had to take a full day trying to figure out what happened. Bruh, I understand. It's frustrating, man. And then yesterday, let me tell y'all what happened yesterday. So I was rushing around because I was doing a bunch of stuff. So I got back home. I'm like, I got 15 minutes. I want to try and knock out an alternative version of this track that I was working on for a client. They wanted an alternative version. So I'm like, I got 15 minutes. Like, let me hurry up, knock it out. So what happened was I sat here in front of the computer and I opened up this session and I opened up the second alternative session in Logic, and I was going to create a third alternative from that session, right? So I go upstairs, something popped off with my son, the youngest one. So I went up there and handled that. So then I came back down. I think he like woke up from a nap or it was random, but I came back down. I'm like, I got 15 minutes. I just started working. I was doing key changes. I was changing drums. I was changing everything in this second version, right? So then I get close because it's time for me to leave, and I'm hitting save, and I look up to see the name of the session. I'm like, it should be 3 instead of 2. That joint said 2, and I just sat back. I was like, bruh, you have got to be kidding me. I did all this changing, all this editing, and I already sent this version to the client, right? So if they like hear this joint and they fall in love with it and they want to use it, or if they ask me to make a small tweak, I just redid the whole thing and saved it. So I couldn't go back unless I dig into some backups or something. So like now I'm looking at the session. I'm like, okay, what all did I do so I could like redo it back to like its original state? So I got it back to pretty much where it was, and I can listen to the old one and go back. I named the tracks the sounds that I used, so I didn't change any of that. But yeah, it was crazy. I'm like, I can't believe I did that. So yeah, man, I tell you, rushing is it ends up usually not being a good thing. So make sure you save the stuff the way it's supposed to be saved so that you have all the versions you need in case somebody comes back and like, yeah, we want to use this. Can you send the stems? No, I can't because I changed everything. Sorry. That would be horrible. But that has happened to me before. Like I've opened up sessions, none of the sounds were there. And I had to like remake the thing and rebuild it. And the publisher didn't even notice. It was crazy. So yeah, that's it, man. This was dope. A lot of dope questions. Shout out to everybody who came through and asked your questions. Listen, this is where you go. If you don't know how to get started with getting your music placed in TV and film, how to produce it, how to prepare it and pitch it, then go to road10placements.com and enroll in the Road to 10 Placements. It's my personal blueprint on how to get started in this sync space as a producer. It's helped a lot of other producers get placements on all types of networks, man. NFL Network, NBC, ABC. We got some video game stuff. Shout out to my guy Walt. I think he did like some Oculus VR game or something placement. Just out there killing it. So go there. That's where you get all of the sauce on how to get started in this space, and use the discount code in the description of this video. Since you're on the live, you'll get a discount today. So yeah, that's it, man. I'm out. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.